All right, everybody, I broke my snowmobile. I hit a big rock, well, several of them, and I busted up this A-arm over here on this brand new RMK of mine. Pretty much my first ride, kind of my second. First with the turbo. I was kind of waiting to do it. I wanted to see what kind of abuse they could take. It takes a hit just like a Rev, or any one of the other snowmobiles out there. Everybody says they're really soft. I'm not buying it. It's, you know, this kind of season that we're having, low snow conditions, it just broke like everything else breaks. But check these out. I got these in from ZBROZ. These are the AXYS effects. Kind of high clearance arms. Look at those babies. Chrome moly, powder coated, and a 36-inch stance I'm going to be putting on this. So it's going to be a little narrower, and I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. This is a hairy sled as it is right now. By hairy, I mean kind of all over the place. But that's me driving it, not used to it. Used to the old Rev, even my IQR for that matter. When you want it to go somewhere, you got to really crank it over. Not this baby. It just sort of, a little bit of English into it, and off it goes. So I'll pull these arms out. Comes with everything you're going to need to install them. They also sent some shims and these little new steering rods, tie rods, whatever you want to call them. That's them right there, because everything's shortened up, right? This goes, this will be going from a 39 to a 36. It's going to be neat. A lot of guys say don't do it. I'm saying, hey, if they don't want me to do it, that's when I like to do it. And then I'll live with it. We've installed these before on the Razor products at Boondocker, and I kind of really dug them. And like everything else, it comes with an instruction manual right here. And I'm just going to read this. So we're just setting this kit up right now. You can screw the arms up on it. You don't want to do that, because you're going to have to take things apart and redo them. But on the upper right A-arm, they put this little weld dot, just a bump. I don't know if you can see that or not. Right in there. That tells me that it's the right side, sitting on it, right there. So that's that side. And then this will be the front over here. There. Bing, boom. And it goes there. And it should go right here. Yes, it does. Now to start this party, we're going to undo these stabilizer arms or sway bars. I'm going to release those babies. We're going to reuse those, of course. All right, let's put these right down here so nothing can really interfere. I'm going to go around, I'm going to loosen up all this stuff right now. And you can see this bent A-arm right here. I guess the good thing about it is that it bent. I still got the rest of my day in, but man, the steering is really off. It's towed in, camber's off. It wasn't very fun. That's why we're doing this. Changing all this stuff. I'm just gonna undo everything a little bit, and then I'm gonna put my hoist on, my engine lift. Just lift up the front, and then we can do all the work on this. Shouldn't be too bad. I got my engine hoist here. It's gonna help me out. Get up there. Get up there, you. You gonna fall over on me? Shouldn't. Just the way I like it. Now you can see what's going on here. Look at how that ski is drooping right down there. So when you try to carve, when you bend that arm, it folds it in, folds it back, the spindle goes up and down, and then that ski wants to dig in. So every time you try to carve, boom, you're in there and you get stuck and you wonder what's going on. Well, that's what happened to me. All right, now I'm in here on this arm. You can come right in, Kai. Right in here on this arm. And it's a little bit of pressure on it because it's all a little twisted. That's it. There you go. That's not supposed to be like that. I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna replace this steering arm while it's like this. Everything is out of there, easy to work around. So I kind of cheated. I went ahead, I did the other side first, just to see what I was going to be up against to make things roll a little quicker here. It's actually pretty forward you know, taking this apart and then putting it back together. I'd say 2 guys install time on this, you're looking at about an hour. But it's not something you're going to be doing on the side of the trail, that's for sure, if you bust in the arm or bend in the arm. I did this one. Can I not do that one? You busted. And for some reason, Polaris likes to use really weird, oddball kind of nuts and bolts. There's one in between a 14 mil and a 9/16 and a 5/8. It's not quite a 15 mil. Not quite sure what it is. There are nuts and bolts and washers here, so you gotta make sure you don't lose them. Get to that in a minute. You're going to be using different steering rods. What's there? I'm also changing up the spindles on this while I'm in here. These ones can be a little weak. Out of here. This bottom mount for the shock actually threads right into that A-arm. And there are these 2 little spacers here. Just want to put those off to the side, you know, or else they sort of have a tendency to get lost underneath a table. At least for me. This very front bolt that mounts up this arm goes right through to the other side.
Let's see the mounts on that.
This right there. That's it. These aren't like the old school ones that would have to go inside your shock towers and pull them out. They actually just pull right out straight off your sled. It's pretty handy that way.
So you got to press those out, or do they?
Yeah, press them out. Well, these come out, but these ball joints have to be pressed out. It's not that hard to do. If you have a good selection of sockets, anything works. Sledgehammer. You can see we're kind of hard on things. That's pretty much one ride. They send you some extra washers to tighten these up a little bit. There's a little play in these, a little back and forth movement in there. So these extra washers that they send sort of tightens that up a little bit.
Like shims.
That's what they are. Just like a shim.
Washer shim.
Washer. I use these same bushings over again. And I came up with this little, because they don't push out very easily actually. I just do one of these. I found this socket that sort of fits right in there. If you had a really big press, you could easily do this. It's like one of those. That's the one. That's it. They actually push into those very easily. Next. That's it. That done. I'll load this up right now. So that's the front. That goes there. It's got this thicker boss that comes out here. Put this shim in. One of these. Now this kit is going to give me a 36-inch stance. If I leave it on its narrowest settings, I'm going to go about a 37 for now, just because it's a hairy little sled to begin with. Until I get it all figured out, that's what I'm going to do. One. This one done too, and then I'll just press them out.
Your turbo today?
I did. I kissed my turbo. I hugged it this morning. It felt good. It's going to treat me good. I kind of like this. I like this little plan I devised right here. All right, so I just got to press these ball joints out. It's actually not that hard to do. You go there. And the upper one. You go there. All right. Not bad there. If you keep a good supply of sockets, like we all do, you'll be able to do this. Just make sure everybody around you is wearing safety glasses. Oh, I hear that paint chipping. Waiting for that. There we go. One. Circlips back in. The only thing left to do that actually isn't that hard, it's not as bad as what you think, is getting this tie rod off. These are threaded two different ways. This is the way it's going to come off right here. But what we need to do is pin the lock nut on the inside of that. You don't have to turn it, you just need to pin it and then you turn it off using the flat sides of this rod itself. You see that on there? So I just have it on there, on that nut. And to get that off, you have to turn the opposite way because it's threaded the opposite way. So I need to tighten it to loosen it. If that makes any sense. Just like that. So you unscrew it, comes off the normal way. I should have done this when I was on the sled. You need to work some magic. Okay, so that's good. We're gonna leave that and then we'll set up the steering once it's all back together. Now it's a simple bolt and go process. And this just all goes back together. And it goes there. You go here. Don't let me forget that front bolt, boys. Holy moly, don't let me forget that. Yeah, these are chromoly. They're pretty light. I don't know if there's much of a weight difference. But they're high clearance, and I'm not quite sure if the geometry is a little different either. So I put a couple extra washers underneath here as per ZBROZ instructions, and it's just going to take the pressure off that shock because I haven't shortened up the shaft on that at all. Good and tight. Now, just doing the last of this here. If you're just changing these spindles and leaving all your stock geometry, you're not going to have to readjust your rod ends, but we're going to have to. There we go. There's a long one in there. I just put a board underneath the side of the ski, then I lower the pressure of the sled on it. seems to do the trick. There you go.
It looks like both are towed out a little bit.
Yeah, they probably are.
It's getting better. Yeah.
You getting better or more?
Now the other side's getting worse.
Did you not do it with weight on it?
Well, I'll do this first.
That's too much. That's pretty, a little bit more. Yeah.
Is that pretty straight? 39 5/8. Right side. Is that okay?
Yep.
Let me check it out too. So we'll see. Yeah. Here. That's better. That's good. Now I just got to get in, snug up that nut on the inside of there, and do the same on the other side, and that is it. That is the install of the RSFX ZBROZ A-arms 36-inch stance. They do have 39-inch stance as well. Stay tuned, we're going to hit the trails today, and hopefully, well, we're going to be off trail. Hopefully it's going to be a rock and roll kind of day. I got to thank you guys for watching as usual. Make sure you come back, check out more cool videos, and make sure you check us out on Instagram, Facebook. Check out ZBROZ as well. Thanks for coming.